Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video for Gungrave G.O.R.E. And this is more like a update video. A patch just dropped for Gungrave G.O.R.E. on PC, and I believe it's available on all consoles. It does include a couple things that I wanted to showcase, so that's what we're gonna do today. In addition to the patch, since the 22nd, this game just got in the winter sale. It's 20% off, and you can check it on the store page too. We're gonna link the patch notes on the store page down below on the description. And don't forget, this game is also available on Game Pass. This will be a great time to go back and check it out. So without further ado, let's start this party and check out some of these patch notes. Further notes, patch 1.01 has new system added, includes a couple bug fixes, and it has a couple buffs and changes to the game and game systems, and in addition, other changes to make your life a little bit easier. On the new added systems, we have a brand new cell shade mode added to the game. It's located in the options, and you select that, and it makes your game look like the PS2 game originally looked, which is kind of cool, especially when you're using the PS2 Gungrave Overdose skin with it, which is what you're seeing on the gameplay I recorded for this video. It's kind of cool. It does not apply to the pre-rendered cutscenes in the game, but everything else looks fantastic on it. The second system added was idle motions. It says if you stay idle for more than 10 seconds, one of 3 animations will randomly play. This is just idle animations in case you put your controller down or you're waiting for an elevator, you see your Gungrave character, Grave, do something interesting instead of just looking at his bag. Anyways, that's kind of cool. It just adds a little bit more personality. It's welcome. The third point says that invincible while they're using a demolition shot. I thought the demolition shot was invincible by default. It might have been an oversight, but right now it's made invincible demolition shot for you to use at your leisure. That way you protect yourself when you're clearing hordes of enemies. That is all for the new system added. Now let's go into a couple of bug fixes, which we're gonna put a link to the bug list so you can go over all of them at your leisure. A couple of examples of issues that been fixed were like things like burst mode being activated when full auto while you were holding R2 and using blood cannon, bungee activating burst mode when in full auto is activated and holding R2 using shoot 'em up and things like that. Another thing, some issues with auto fire and some issues with NPCs still moving after graveyard were fully activated. Ballad burn and leave air stopping AI when demolition shot was using that. You can see that on my last video too, which is kind of fantastic. That's the way I passed that, because that fight on medium without any of the upgrades, it's annoying. Anyways, let's go back to the list. In addition, this update brought some system changes to help you play a little bit better. There's some kind of buffs, like for example, a Grave melee attack will not cancel its own animation anymore. That way you cannot spam it and re-scan it. I don't know, I didn't do that, but the next one is kind of better. It's improved demolition shot damage, so you do more damage per demolition shot, which means you're gonna be able to clear more people faster, even though you're hitting the same amount of people, but for more damage. That guarantees some of the monsters will die instead of just having to wait for that, especially because you're collecting art to try to get your score up. Anyways, next we have demolition gauge gains more per shot, another buff. Next we have improved graveyard. Next we have demolition shot production added. It lists here Doom's Rain, Death Dry, and Executioner Bloods. This just means extra animation added to those attacks. These are just cool things like different camera angles added to those attacks so they look cooler. Now, I noticed that in Doom's Rain, I believe, the camera swings around 3 parts and shows Gungrave from the front, Grave while shooting, which is kind of cool. I like it. It wasn't needed, but it's appreciated. Next, we have another buff as improved hit detection on Funeral Strike, another buff on improved parry detention to easier parry the projectiles, which was much needed. That actually greatly balance and adjust the difficulty on some places, which is kind of great. And by that, the game feels a lot better to play when you're playing as you are doing those moves and trying to return those missiles back to the enemies. The next two are both on adjustments. I think they balance the game a little bit more, and they change HP and damage to the enemies on easy and normal to make it more feasible. Because I did notice myself that there was like an insanely crazy difficulty curve up on the end of medium, just for what happens to be no reason. But that's cool that they are fixing that. Here we go with other fixes. Attack motion change for Livagu, fixes animation for Baharu. To tell you the truth, I know I butchered that name. At this point, we have like 10 more fixes, including an upgrade for an additional point for quartz on the demolition points collection. Yeah, this is kind of cool. You should check it out for yourself. We're gonna leave the link of the description so you can see the changes. And just to close the updates, they have another set of changes, including polishing the UI, added auto fire for the UI from the and maintaining it this time. Polish demolition shop, videos in the lab, an upgrade to the storm barrage that now it can break shields. Now death tornado tutorial explanation has been added, and added effect for Livagu's sleeping attack, which are all cool and needed stuff. They're making the game a little bit better and a little bit more polished on what it was. I'm definitely happy that now you can make a selection while you're on game and select the auto fire and keep it through your playthrough without having to reselect every time you die, because when you die it's a little bit annoying to have to go back and make sure you have the same selections you were using, especially when everything gets interrupting you to do other stuff and getting unwanted damage when that's happening. I greatly appreciate the effort that the team is putting to the game, even though I was salty the first time because the difficulty at some points felt absolutely unfair. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the stage real quick and we'll sign out. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.